Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Post Credit Chat. My name is Mark. This is Sam, and you're joining us for our Thor review in our Marvel movie lineup, leading up all the way to Avengers Doomsday in December this year, 2026. Um, we're approaching it. We're getting there, and I would like to say and think and feel that maybe the watching of the MCU movies is helping time go by a little bit faster. It's kind of crazy when you have something to look forward to and you have a plan week to week. Your weeks go by quick.
They do. That's so true. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I've been enjoying these movies. It's been like a kind of a fun thing to look forward to. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's been fun jumping into the Marvel movies. We've done Thor, or sorry, we just did Thor, but we've done Iron Man, Incredible
hmm
Hulk, Iron Man 2, and now we're in Thor. And then next week, Cap? Is that what it is? Bring Captain America?
It's got to be because after Captain America's Avengers, right?
Ooh, let's see here. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, First Avenger, and then the Avengers. So that'll be our first Avengers movie that we hit. End of phase one. It's exciting. Okay.
That's insane. Yeah.
Well, let's chat a little bit about Thor. We finally got to jump into this movie. This is one I've been looking forward to. I think Thor is a better movie than people probably give it credit for. I love some of the one-liners in in this movie. I thought they were pretty funny. My wife was cracking up the entire time. She's been watching these movies with me as we do our Marvel movie review. But directed by Kenneth Branagh. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hopefully I am. Prior to Thor, he directed Hamlet, A Midwinter's Tale, Much Ado About Nothing. And then after Thor, he directed Belfast, Death on the Nile, and A Haunting in Venice.
Yeah.
Um, this one, I haven't really seen any of these movies.
I haven't either.
Nothing against him. I'd say his probably biggest movies were Death on the Nile and A Haunting on Venice. Well, I probably shouldn't say they're his biggest, but what I should say is they're probably the most pop culture
Yeah.
standouts.
Most known.
Right. So, anyways, this movie released in May 2011, so May 2nd of 2011, and Iron Man 2 also released on, was it May 2nd or was it
It
Iron
was in
Man?
May. One of them was in May.
Let's see.
I think Iron Man 1 was when that.
Iron
Yeah.
Man 1. Iron Man 1 was May 2nd, 2008. And yeah, Thor is May 2nd, 2011. Thor started back in 1991. Sam Raimi, director of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, was going to actually pick up this movie. But then it was in development hell for a few years until Marvel finally got it going again and
Yep.
kind of did their thing with it. Originally, Daniel Craig was offered the role of Thor, and he turned it down due to everything that he had going on with the James Bond franchise. Can we think about that for a
No,
moment?
we can't. That sounds horrible.
That is weird to think about.
Maybe it's because I'm so used to Chris Hemsworth, but like,
That's wild
no.
to me to think about Daniel Craig in the Bond movie or in Thor, playing
I
Thor.
mean, what like already is a no for me is like think about him with long hair, dude. No way.
Dude, that would have been so. Here's my thing. Like, would when you think about these movies when they come out, like I guess when you look at um, I don't know, Obi-Wan and you look at Ewan McGregor, right?
hmm
Could you see anyone else playing Obi-Wan? Probably not. Like, no, like he is Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
There was a time when I think Tom Cruise was trying to be Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Iron Man. I don't know if that's right or not, but like, could you
Yeah,
imagine that? And probably not. No.
yeah, no way.
But like,
These roles are so iconic at this point that like there's just no shot
right.
that
But
anyone else could fill that
my
role.
question is like, are these roles cemented in with these actors because they got it first? Like, would we be thinking Daniel Craig was a great Thor if he would have gotten it first? You know? And then, like, we look at Chris Hemsworth, who's playing James Bond, and we're like, "No, that would've been weird. We don't want Chris Hemsworth."
Maybe,
It's just
maybe,
weird to
yeah.
think about, you know?
That's odd, dude. Yeah, I don't know.
It's wild. I don't know if I could ever picture someone else playing Captain Jack Sparrow or I
Yeah,
I don't
you're right.
know. The
Maybe it's just that actor played that role so well.
the famous roles like that. Yeah. Well, I thought that was a fun fact I found. Chris Hemsworth actually was dropped as Thor. Kevin Feige and, really the Marvel team, they brought him on and then they dropped him, and then he came back and he auditioned, and when he showed up after he got the part, he came back for costume fitting 20 pounds bigger in muscle. I thought that was a cool little
That's
nod there.
insane.
Yeah, he what was it? He gained 20 pounds of muscle, and then he ended
That's
up
an
having to lose weight because he was a little too big for the costume fitting, I think.
what?
Kinda like Christian Bale for Batman Begins. I don't know if you knew that, but Christopher Nolan was like, "Hey, we need you to get bigger," because he was just coming off of the movie called The Machinist, I think is what it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah,
And he's, like, super skinny, and, like, Christian Bale's one of those actors who, like, goes all in for, like, the weight, you know?
crazy, dude.
But, The Machinist, he was super skinny, and then he said, "Hey, we're gonna" Christopher Nolan was like, "Hey, Christian Bale, we're gonna need you to put on some weight as Batman." And he asked, like, "How much do you need me to put on?" And they're like, "Just get big." And so he got way too big that he couldn't fit into the bat suit that they had for him. So he
That's
actually had to
just
lose
like
weight.
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you pull that off,
It's
you
kinda
know?
wild.
Like, it's impressive, but dude, what?
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I thought that was a really like, I feel like you would want Batman to be very brooding. It's almost like he was probably the size of Ben Affleck for
Yeah,
Batman vs Superman. Like, he was a brute in that movie, so I'm wondering if he was kinda similar to that size, but
probably.
anyways, um,
Y
what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's crazy, like, I wonder who else Marvel tried to get before Chris Hemsworth. Because like, if they settled for him, dude, like, who else? I guess Daniel Craig, but, like, th there's no way I don't know. This is probably still because, like, I know Chris Hemsworth is Thor,
Right.
but, like, what?
It would be fun for Marvel, MCU. Maybe we do this in, like, other ways as well, but it'd be fun to see, like, if we did, like, a TikTok or Instagram post of who almost played that role kind of thing, you know? And so maybe, like, if we did the MCU, that'd be fun. If we also did, like, I'm sure there are
Yeah.
other people being looked at for Bond, right? There's people that's a whole discussion right now with Amazon is who's gonna play the next James Bond, and the names going around, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, one of them is Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm like, "I don't want that guy to play Bond." Just my opinion, keep him out of here. There's the guy who plays, um, Frankenstein in the new movie, or not,
Oh, Jacob Elordi?
yeah, not he doesn't play
Yeah.
Frankenstein, but the
I know who you're
monster.
talking about. Yeah.
Him, and I'm like, I I don't know that I want him to play Bond either, but
Yeah, I feel like maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like a Bond character, like, actor needs to be at least sort of unknown. Like, some of these
yeah,
actors they're, like, suggesting are, you know, kind not mainstream, I guess, but they're in a lot of stuff right now.
right.
And you want somebody that's like, you see him for the first time, and he's not like, "Oh, he was in this other movie." It's cool if it's like, "Oh, this is, like, James Bond.
Yeah, like,
This is,
who's
like,
this
how we know
guy?
him." Yes.
I agree. I would love that. Daniel Craig was almost that for the most part. Like, not a lot of people
Yeah.
knew who Daniel Craig was. Same thing with Henry Cavill for Superman. He
Mhm.
he was known from, I think Spartacus, I believe. I mean, that might have been it. But I mean, if we're looking at Jacob Elordi from, uh, what's that show on HBO he's in? Uh, Euphoria.
Yeah.
And so, never seen it. I'm sure
I
it's
haven't
a
either.
good show, but I don't know. I don't think it would be, um, I think a lot of people would probably see him and as that actor in that show playing a Bond, and I think that'd be hard for some people to walk away from.
Agreed. Yeah.
Anyways, um, we got our first. We're not first. We got our second cameo, I think, or third. No, we've had
We've had a couple. We've had
Nick
a couple at this
Fury
point. Yeah,
in
yeah,
Iron Man. We've had Black Widow in Iron Man 2.
yeah. Mhm.
I guess we've also had no, it was just them. I could be wrong.
Tony Stark technically cameoed in Hulk, right?
Right. And I guess my bad. I shouldn't have said cameo. I'm more so just saying like more introduction to
Oh,
Avengers. Like,
yes.
so now we get Hawkeye and Thor.
Mhm.
And his filming took place behind a grocery store in a parking lot. So I thought that was definitely
That's
really
awesome.
interesting.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's cool that they brought him in the way that they did. I like that because it's he's not being brought in as this superhero. He's just being brought in as this guy who is great with a bow and is not going to
yeah,
miss. So I thought that was fun. Um, in the post credit scene, it was filmed
yeah.
by Joss Whedon, not filmed by Kenneth. Joss Whedon, as we know, is the guy who directed Avengers 1. He
Mhm.
also directed Age of Ultron. Fun fact, he also came in to direct the Justice League after Zack Snyder had to exit for very unfortunate reasons. Um, and so a lot of people like Joss, and some people don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who's always been on the fence with Joss. I've never been a huge fan of his. I think he did fine for Avengers 1 was actually, I will say Avengers 1 was really good. I thought he did fine for Avengers Age of Ultron. I love that movie, but I thought it could have been better in a lot of other ways as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, let's see here. The budget was $150 million for Thor, and it grossed about $449.3 million.
Nice.
It brought in less than Iron Man 2 did. Um,
Mm.
I want to see Iron Man 2 had a bigger budget and brought in probably, if the math is mathing, about 100 million more than what Thor did if we were all on a
That's
level playing
crazy.
field. So people love Iron Man. I think the marketing for Thor, if I remember correctly, was pretty awkward, if I remember. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, we do have the cast, actors and actresses. We have Chris Hemsworth as Thor. We're just talking about it. He is a great Thor at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, when you think about the Avengers, like this is like people's best first looks. I mean, we've had live action Thor before in
Yeah, but,
like
like, barely.
70s, 80s, maybe
Yeah.
60s. I don't remember when they filmed it, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't like anything to the scale of what we have now. All the
Not even
heroes we have
close.
are awesome, right?
Yes.
So he's good. We have Natalie Portman as Jane Foster.
Mhm.
Fun fact, I didn't put this in there, but she took the role of Jane before even reading a script. She just thought Kenneth directing
Whoa.
it was going to be weird, and she liked that. So I think she thought it'd be interesting
Cool.
that, yeah, isn't that that's pretty weird.
That's yeah.
She thinks it's weird, and I think it's weird that she took it like that. So,
Yeah.
the man, Anthony Hopkins as Odin, Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Tom also auditioned for the part of Thor. So
That's so funny.
there is that. There is
That's
actually an audition tape. You could probably go to YouTube right now and find it of him auditioning as Thor, and he's like in the getup and everything. It's pretty weird. Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson. We get a return of him. We got Stellan Skarsgård as Eric Selvig, Kat Dennings as Darcy Lewis, Idris Elba as Heimdall, and then this is one I wanted to throw out there. He doesn't have a huge role in this, but I thought it was a really cool nod. Was Maximiliano Hernandez as Agent Sitwell. He is in. We see him next in a MCU short that they do between movies. But the next movie I think we see him in is Captain America: Civil War. He's one of the guys who says "Hail Hydra." He gets in
yeah.
the elevator, I think, with. He's the guy in Endgame when Cap gets in the elevator and Cap's like, he whispers "Hail Hydra" to like one of the agents. That's the guy I'm talking about. So that's a fun little nod that he's in this.
Heck yeah.
That's everybody. Let's talk about Thor. Like, where are you at with this movie, Sam?
Dude, it's a good movie.
Okay.
I think it gets this may be like a directorial issue, but I feel like people would like it a lot more if it had the vibe of like Ragnarok, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I think it's a great movie, but I don't think it was as much of a spectacle if it could, as it could have been, you know?
Yep.
And especially like with the Asgard design, if that makes sense. I think that seeing it later in the MCU compared to like how it is the first time, it's like, oh, it's a little bit like muted, I guess.
You did not like it.
I think it's good. I think it's good, but I think that like going back to it, it's it feels different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like it's a little bit more rich in further movies, I guess.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I like
Which
that.
might be a nothing complaint, but it's just it's one of those things that like noticing on the rewatch is like, whoa, like this is not how it is in my mind, you know?
Right. That's fair. I like that. Yeah, I guess it did feel a little muted when kind of
Mm-hmm.
looking at um Asgard as a entry point to that universe for Thor and
Yeah.
all of that. So interesting. Yeah, I did appreciate the like I think that's probably the thing that set the tone for this movie is this is the first movie, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I am, that is really fantastical. Iron Man 1 and 2 and Hulk
Yeah.
both took place on Earth, and here we are in Asgard, and on Earth. But so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if like to some people, and maybe why it didn't so just as good in the box office is because maybe it came off silly-ish to some people, maybe not, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I
And I feel like that's kind of fair, you know? It's like those first two movies were uh, grounded as much as you could be for that style.
right.
And then you see like maybe a trailer for this one, you're like, oh, we're dealing with like Greek gods now. What's that about?
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly, like, Odin's in this,
Yeah, huh?
Loki, Thor, yeah, exactly, that's great. I think you might be onto something with that, that's true. It's just it's something to think about, so
Yeah.
I'll say one thing that got on to me that I whenever it's on screen, I have a hard time looking away for it, and not for the reasons you might think, but whenever Chris Hemsworth is on screen, all I can focus on is his hair, his eyebrows, and his facial hair. It's all the same color, and it's almost as if they
Hmm.
bleached it all, like, I don't know, it looks horrible.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about that.
It
Thanks.
is terrible. Go look at a picture on Google or something of Thor
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie. It looks awful. So you look at Thor in, like, a later movie,
Oh,
just like Thor Dark is it Dark World? Is that the next one?
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Dark World and then Ragnarok.
I believe you, but I need to see it myself. That just doesn't
But yeah, dude, you're so right. This looks ridiculous.
the Dark World. But yeah, it looks horrible. It
I
really
I
does.
didn't really notice it, but like that's not good.
But you go look at him in the other movies, and he looks so much better because it's like I mean, naturally, like me, I've got darker, eyebrows and hair, facial hair. But if you look closely and if you had a high quality camera like they use, like you'd see, like, I actually have some red facial hair
Huh.
and brown hair and almost black eyebrows. So it's just like, I have never seen somebody with blonde hair, blonde eyebrows, and blonde facial hair, and it looks weird on
Yeah.
Thor. I thought that was
It,
fun.
it is like they bleached it, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It looks bad.
like I'm even looking at the design for Thor 2 and it's like that's
Ni
so much better.
9 day.
Like
9 day. Um, I thought they really did a good job with making you feel like Asgard was a different place in the sense of, like, how they talk, the mannerisms and everything, like and you really get a sense of that for when Thor is on Earth, when he
Mhm.
like there's 2 lines that my wife, she cracks up at these 2 lines, and I think they're equally funny, but I can't help but to turn and look at my wife because when she laughs at these, I think it's 1, it's the cutest thing, but 2, it is so funny. She laughs really hard at the scene where he's, like, drinking coffee the first time. He's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this drink is delicious. Another." And he, like, throws it on the ground and breaks the mug in the restaurant. That's hilarious. And then he, like, needs a horse to get to his hammer, and so he walks into the pet store, and he's like, "I need a horse." And the guy looks up at him, he's like, "We don't sell those here. We have we have cats, dogs, and birds." So, "Well, it's great. I need one large enough to ride." It's just great, like, he does not understand, and I think the writing
Yeah,
was brilliant for those scenes. I enjoyed it.
absolutely.
What
Yeah,
were some
I
of the
will
things
say
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I do really enjoy, like, the way that they did these early Marvel movies and the way that they, like, injected, like, kinda quippy, funny moments is so good, and I
Mhm.
don't know how they lost that,
They
you
did.
know? It's like, they just do it so well, it's not, like, oversaturated, it's well placed, and it's like, now, man, it's like, I cringe watching Marvel movies
Right.
sometimes. And it's like, how did we, like, get a bigger budget and lose that, like, writing quality?
It's almost like when you see something that's working and doing well, because these are
Mhm,
not I had a conversation with somebody. We were talking. This is at like an old job I used to work at, and I was like, the question came up of like, what's your favorite comedy? And they mentioned like an MCU movie, and I was like, what? That,
whoa.
and they're like, no, all the MCU movies are comedies, and I was like, no, they're not. They're not like they got funny lines, but they're not like you're not
Yeah,
seeing Dumb and Dumber or Tommy Boy. That's just not what these movies are, and
the
so.
only permissible ones would be, like, Deadpool, you know?
Right, Deadpool, or maybe Ant-Man, but I just even then, it's just like
Maybe Guardians, but other than that, like, no way.
there were and even then, like, yeah, they're just that's not what these movies are, they're
No.
not comedies, and I think later on, to your point, they probably looked back at these earlier movies and like, "Oh, those one-liners are good, we need
Mhm,
more of that," and they bring in these writers who don't know how to write movies, clearly they don't because these later movies are terrible, um, and they mess it up
yeah, like, bad too.
really bad, yeah, I agree. What are some things that, like, stood out to you, like, that you're like, "Hey, I really did enjoy this at the Thor movie?"
Uh, you know, I really like this is kind of like a generic cop out answer. I like the plot, you know? I really love the way they take like this, you know, you've I guess kind of fantastical character,
Mhm.
ground him and make him like build back up to his status. And I
Yeah.
think they do it so well and they make Thor like a kind of like humbled character. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
His interactions with like Jane Foster, and, um, gosh, just
The,
being on Earth, it's just so good.
Stellan Skarsgård's Eric Selvig?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love the way his character's done. I think that, like, like, Thor's character might be one of my favorite, like, just character arcs over the course of one movie.
I agree. I think he probably had such a great role in this because, 1, it's not your typical movie where your hero has powers throughout the whole thing. Like, he was actually, like, human
Yeah.
for for most of
For,
the movie.
like, the big chunk of the movie.
Yeah, and so that's kinda like a little different take, but you're forced to get to know the character as who they are as opposed to showing these fight sequences, these action
Yes.
sequences, and they're just kinda there to be on a green screen, and we got to see more of Chris Hemsworth bringing this character to life. I thought that was
Mhm.
cool. Um, well, cool. I would love to know where you rank this movie in our
Oof.
MCU lineup. Right now in our movie rankings in this order. we have Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2. It's not a
Well,
coincidence. Those are in release order, but that's just how we view them so far.
this might not come as a shock, but it is definitely top 3.
I agree. I
Ye
might enjoy this more than I enjoyed The Incredible Hulk.
I'm with you. I think this is at least second for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the story and the setting and everything else better than Iron Man, but I love Iron Man,
Yeah.
you
Iron Man
know?
is great.
And that's, like, such a tough thing. I feel like from a critical standpoint, it might be a better movie, but
What, Thor?
Iron Man, yeah.
Iron Man 1?
But I'm saying, like, Iron Man is still my first because it's Iron Man.
I'm here for it. But you think I can't see my keyboard from this angle.
I
You
think it might be a better movie.
Wow, I think that's
I
a
know.
hot take right
I
there.
know. I know. I
Okay.
really do like the first Thor movie.
It's great. It is great. But that is a hot take. But I love that's your hot take. I love that. So that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay. Well, so far here so here's where our listing stands right now, and I love that we're finally getting some more movies on the chart because it's gonna just get more complicated from here. We got Iron Man, Thor, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Are we allowed to alter this list as we go down the road? Or should we say, "Hey, once it's there, it's there"?
I feel like we should say once it's there, that's it.
I like that. That'd be my
Because
my choice.
if we get wishy-washy with it, then this doesn't matter, you know?
The point is we gotta stand on business.
Yes, exactly, and that's
You
what we're doing.
gotta get those TikTokers
Oh,
pissed off.
yeah,
So
exactly. Oh my gosh, we're so good at that. That's like our number 1 talent right now,
Oh,
dude.
absolutely. Go look at our Stranger Things season 3 review, character ranking on
You got
TikTok, and you'll
people
see.
mad, dude. And we stand by it. Again, we stand on business. Anyways, I will say before we like kind of move on that
Yeah.
something else I really do like about this movie, which is another reason why I think it's a little better than Iron Man, maybe, is because it also fleshes out Loki a good bit. So
Yeah.
like you get, I wouldn't say it's a full arc, obviously, but you get good character development with a secondary character,
Right.
and Iron Man doesn't really do that.
How could we talk about Thor and not mention Tom Hiddleston?
No,
Like, that's
exactly.
true. Like,
Yes,
he is a top 10 character in the MCU, I would say. He's
100%.
great.
Yes, and I think it's a shame how one-dimensional he is, and we'll talk about this when we watch Avengers. I think he's so good in Thor
Mhm.
as a, like, real character, and Avengers brings him in and he's kinda like, "Ah, I'm the bad guy."
The 90s style villain who's always
Yeah,
got a smirk on his face.
yes.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, speaking of villain, I'm curious how we do this because we have the boss that Thor fights at the end, but he's not really he's more of like a soldier that gets sent out.
Yeah.
So who's our villain? Do we want to just say it's Loki? Because then we got to put him down again for, you know, Avengers.
Yeah. I think the way we do this is how does this character do in the movie that they're in? So, Loki, Thor 1, and then we'll do Loki again for Avengers as, like, separate entities, if that makes sense. Because ultimately we're ranking the movies, not the entire MCU.
So we're gonna have two Lokis
Right.
on the villain ranking.
I think that's fine.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can do it. Because my thing is when we get to like the point is to put somebody on the chart and compare them to everybody else, I guess.
So, here's my argument.
Like this Loki is the same Loki in Avengers.
It's the same Loki, but he's not written the same. It's the same character by name and by some attributes, but he is not written the same way. And I think here's the deal. I honestly, and this is going to be a spoiler for when we watch Avengers, I think that Loki is a better character in Thor than he is in the Avengers. And I think it's unfair to say, well, I don't know. I don't know. This gets into like thinking in futures too much, but I feel like we're getting risky if we're like, what are some other like recurring villains, right? Because
I
I'm
don't know
sure
if there
there's
are
more.
any.
Thanos had 2 movies, but I mean, there's an obvious answer for both of those.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know. Okay. So what do we do? I feel like we don't
I
have a
don't know,
decision.
because he's the only recurring villain, isn't he?
I think you're right. Yeah. So your argument is now what?
I don't know. I feel like I said all that just to have no clue what my point is.
Well,
I say for right now, let's do Loki as he appears in Thor, and we can make a decision on it later. On if we want to say, oh, let's
okay.
talk about like because if we're reviewing these movies right now, we don't know what he's like in the Avengers.
So is it fair to say, I think Loki is the best villain we've gotten so far?
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't even think it's a question. Every other one might as well be a piece of cardboard.
I love that. I mean, it's fair though. It's true. Okay. Let me go add all this real quick because yes, thank you. I changed out the keys on my computer
Mm-hmm.
and they do not shine through well. And so I'm like really having to look and I'm gonna return them. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our villain ranking right now, as it stands for the current moment, until we make a better decision. But I'm glad we had this conversation because this is a first and probably is going to be the only one,
Only.
like we were
Yeah.
saying. We've got, go ahead.
No, I was like, I wish that we would have that problem more. There are so many
Right.
villains that I wish would show up more, but no.
We got Loki for Thor. Obadiah Stane, Iron Man in second. For third, Abomination for the Hulk. And then fourth, we've got Whiplash for Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Now we got post-credit scene. This, of course, is where we rank every single post-credit scene that we see in the MCU. The Incredible Hulk still has a weird one, and to be honest, that might always stay last for me, but
yeah,
we will see. Okay, for first place, we got Iron Man 2, which I don't quite remember, and it's in our first place.
Yeah, it is.
That was, don't tell me, that's got to be something with the Avengers Initiative. What is it?
It is. Oh, it's where it shows Thor's hammer in the crater.
Okay. that was cool. that makes sense. Okay. We've got in this movie, the post-credit scene was Stellan Skarsgård's Eric Selvig. He meets up with Nick Fury, I believe, in kind of like at a base. And this was, again, directed by Joss Whedon. So this is leading into how we see him in the beginning of Avengers 1. Eric is working on the Tesseract, I believe, and trying to harness that power. Nick Fury and all them are trying to do that. And then Loki comes in and steals it. And I believe he steals, captures Eric Selvig as well with it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah. But this whole scene was that, and then Loki appears next to Eric near the end and says something, and then Eric says it afterwards. So I never quite understood that. Does Loki have the ability to control what people say?
I think so. Yeah.
If he does, then
like he has hardcore. Well, he has like really big control over people apparently, but then he doesn't really do it again. You know, he only does it for Eric Selvig.
I agree. So where do we have this scene standing out? Iron Man 2 was Thor's hammer. Iron Man 1 was the Avengers Initiative. I think I know where I would put it, but I want to see where you would put it.
Um, I'm putting it at 1 if it's me, dude. Like,
Interesting.
I think we're gonna disagree on this,
Yeah. That's not a bad thing. I
but,
like it.
like, this one is, to me, every other one is like, "Okay, here we go. This is cool." This one is like, "Oh, things are, like, getting set in motion, like, we're building to something here," you know?
Okay.
That's
I
why
when I am little Mark in the movie theater and I see the post-credit scene for Iron Man 2 and I see Thor's hammer, I'm hyped and I'm leaving that theater and I'm excited.
Hmm.
When I watched this scene, I I don't get excited. I'm
Really?
not bummed, but I don't leave it like no way. I mean, we just saw the next superhero Thor is going to be like there's his hammer. But here I'm like, what does this mean exactly? Like I think I know what it means, but what does this mean?
That's fair. No, yeah, I get that.
But you feel differently, and so that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
I know for a fact that it's above the other, 2 and 3 right now, at least for me.
okay. What
Uh,
what was the conversation that was being had?
just that, like, this is, like, going into something. Like, we are getting a bigger picture here, you know? It's like they're talking about the Avengers Initiative, and then it's like, "Okay, now we have a reason for this," you know?
They did talk about it?
Oh, wait, you're talking about something else.
No, I'm talking about Thor post-credit scene.
Oh, sorry. Um, that's a good question.
That's my conversation is what are they talking about? Because I think the biggest part of that post-credit scene was that Loki showed up.
Yes. And then he took the Tesseract.
No, he didn't take it.
Did he not?
No. It ended with
You're right, that happens. You're so right.
he takes it at the beginning of Avengers 1.
Like, I'm sorry, you're
No, you're
so
good.
I don't know how I'm missing that.
He took and that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like not a lot happened in this post-credit scene. But
Yeah.
if you think it's better than Iron Man 1,
No, now that you mention it, for some reason, I was, like, colluding it in my head with, like, "Oh, he has the Tesseract."
right.
He doesn't, though, so that yeah. No, that's
I wouldn't mind putting it at number 3. I think because Incredible Hulk was not really a post-credit scene. I think Incredible Hulk is
yeah.
probably gonna stay dead last unless
Unfortunately, Incredible Hulk just does not, stand up to these
right,
guys.
I agree. Um, so what are I don't wanna
Mm,
mold you. I wanna know,
no,
what do you think?
it's I think I was thinking it was cooler than it was. Um, I definitely don't
It was
want it at
cool.
1 now. It wasn't as cool, though. 'Cause for some reason, I'm like, "Oh, he has that thing. That's so sick."
So
But,
3?
yeah, I'm fine with 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I I I think that I would maybe go 2, but thinking on, like, Iron Man's post-credit scene, like, it's just so good.
Right, where they're like, "Hey, I wanna talk to you about the Avengers Initiative." It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see here. Me
It'll
and
be
my
nice to have, some more movies on the list.
we're getting there, baby.
We're getting there, but man.
Well, the next movie on the list is absolutely 100% going to be Captain America.
Yeah.
When we get to Captain America, the good news is for that one, Iron Man 2, Thor. I believe we're doing Captain America next week. So you guys have another one to look forward to.
Heck yeah.
And we are going to get this loaded up for you guys pretty soon. So thank you for joining us for our Thor review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We do try to keep these a little shorter so they're maybe like a quick thing you can listen to on your way into work, or maybe you're on your lunch break. But comment below, let us know what you thought of Thor 2011. We would love to know how do you feel about our rankings? Where do you stand on that and whatnot? So that'd be cool.
Yeah, no hot takes here.
No hot takes at all. Yeah, exactly. Plenty of them. Uh, well, where you can find us is Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky X, and YouTube, all at the handle of Post Credit Chat. My name is Mark, and this is Sam, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Have a good one.